Hello, welcome to July Q&A, and we've got loads of questions today, so I'm going to just start straight away. Hi, James Brown Agency. He has asked, verified, do carrots really make you see in the dark? The answer is that carrots contain vitamin A, well, beta-carotene to be more precise, the vegetable version of vitamin A, and they do help. They help with cornea, translate light. They help the signalling, I think. So they do, but you could get the beta-carotene from squash or sweet potatoes or anything like that. So, but yes, carrots do actually really help you see in the dark. You might have to eat quite a few to get enough, but you can get it from your whole diet, enough beta-carotene to help. It's the vitamin A you need. Okay, at _decor j'adore has asked, can lemon juice and baking soda help with a spray tan disaster? I feel that this is not my field, and perhaps you could try it, but perhaps not. It's probably not for me to answer. I don't know the answer to that. At Sarah_G_private, is it true there is as much nutritional value in a packet of prawn cocktail discos as there is in a green juice? Okay, well, I don't know where this has come from. I don't know, you know, I'd love to see the article about it. Macro-wise, I mean, it sounds ridiculous, I know, but macro-wise, it will have more carbohydrate, it will have more fats, they might not be good fats, but you know, on the macro levels, it will be higher than a green juice, because a green juice, the benefits and nutrition from a green juice come from much more delicate micronutrients, like phytonutrients, vitamins, minerals, polyphenols, things like that, things that are much smaller scale. So I suppose it depends what you're comparing. But from a nutritionist point of view, I would say no. But if you needed something for energy, like if you think about the energy and the carbohydrate that you get from a bag of crisps, it would be more enduring than the little bits you get from a juice. So I hope that sort of answers. And I can understand why that's there, why that's been said. But yeah, it's sort of splitting hairs, really. Okay, now, there's been a few questions all similar. So I'm going to read you all the questions because I've come up with this quite a similar answer to a few of them. So we've got at Alicia Motiardi, what's the best healthy snack for a new mama? At Layla_Rudolph, how to prevent mid-afternoon slump without resorting to coffee and sweet things. At My Bag and Me UK, an alternative to a sweet treat in the evening. More Tea Vicky, how to calm my sweet tooth. Julie Lomax 1, I definitely need to find an alternative to bars of commercial chocolate. Any tips? _PR, who asked, what foods can I eat to help my hormonal acne and fight my sweet tooth? So the sort of underlying one to all of these questions is you want a slow burning fuel so that you don't get a sugar spike. And do you know what I'm a big fan of at the moment is nut butter and apple. I do it with my 5-day plan. I use it a lot with the kids. It tastes really good. It's full of fats, good fats, so it helps to soothe your hunger. It staves off that. It also means that you get a slow burning sugar. The sweetness of the apple, it gives you that sweetness to the sweet tooth, but it feels quite fatty, which is why I think it hits the spot. That's why I think it hits the spot. So for you, mama, nursing mama, Alicia, that's really good for your milk production, to have some good fats coming in. It's much more helpful than having refined sugar coming in. Commercial chocolate bars, I think that creaminess that you get from the nut butter will help that you keep away from those. There are other things you lot can try, which are things like organic raw chocolates. I know there's a company called Conscience who do, you know, there's the Yon bar, there's all those things. But in order to stave off that sort of, you know, like mid-afternoon slump that Layla gets, you want to make sure you've got a slow burning fuel, because that mid-afternoon slump is often just hunger. And people try, you know, they try not to eat, mustn't, and actually what you should be eating is something really wholesome and that will keep burning and keep you going till the evening. Okay, so I hope that helps all of you. Right, next. At Justin Caswell 1, hi, I've recently received blood test and discovered I have quite severe anemia. Wondering what foods are best for iron-rich diet. I am taking the iron tablets to give me a boost, but want to ensure I'm eating well too. Any advice welcome. Okay, well, meat is a really good iron booster. I don't know if you eat meat or not, but you know, some people in Chinese medicine would encourage you to have a steak once a week, and that's fine. I think you have to pair it, you know, I think be careful because you don't want to have too much saturated animal fat in your diet. And there are lots of vegetables that can help. Spinach is genuinely really good and high in iron. Nuts and seeds are great. Brazil nuts are brilliant. Also something called Floradix or Spartone is a really wonderful thing it's just like a tonic that you can have every day, which will help maintain your iron status once you've got it back up to level. And yeah, so I think those are really good things. I think Spartone and Floradix are a really great thing to include if you are prone to anemia, just going forward. At E_Ainsley_Muir. What? I find it impossible to lose weight and I don't know why. Can you help me please? I'm very active but just can't shift it. I'm sure I can help you, but it's very hard to do that without knowing more about your case. It might be a case that you need to come and see me or see someone, only because there can be so many reasons as to why you're stuck. And without knowing your age, without knowing what activity you do, without knowing, stress is a huge factor for a lot of people with that can't shift their weight. They do everything right, but they're almost so stressed trying to do everything right that they basically end up in a fight or flight scenario all the time, which means that your body is not going to use the energy you take in food-wise properly. So it would be really good to know more. There are things, things like sugar, snacking. Are you grazing all the time? Are you giving your body time to break and digest and then get hungry again? Those are things that you could look at. Also hormones. Probably another big part, but it's quite hard to know without any more information. So I hope that helps a little bit. At Rebecca Saville, at Rosemary Ferguson, are mature dates good for you or do they contain too much sugar? It's confusing on supermarket packaging. They have red traffic light for sugar content, but is this okay as it's natural sugar from fruit? Okay, well, sugar is sugar. And actually this fruit sugar is it's better because it comes with fibre, it's not so refined, it's not so processed. But dates are very high in sugar. However, having said that, there has to be some perspective on sugar and also just what we eat and getting crazily extreme about, what we eat. So I would say if you're going to have a couple of dates, dates again, actually going back to the sugar group at the beginning, dates I think are they're a good alternative. If you've got a sweet tooth, they're a good alternative. They're full of fibre and they are not like eating a Mars bar. At Kelly1.Johnson, why are nightshades so bad? Why are nightshades bad for you? I love tomatoes. I know, everyone loves tomatoes, and deadly nightshade plants of that family are not bad for you. That's not true. They're not. Some people respond negatively to something. There are some alkaloids in it called solanine. And the alkaloid in it causes irritation, it can cause irritable bowel, it can cause a bit of bloating, it can cause rashes, it can cause, fatigue. And unless you suffer with any of those symptoms, then you don't need to worry. Deadly nightshades, in my whole career, I've only come across 2 people who are very intolerant to deadly nightshades. So I wouldn't worry unless you're noticing any of the symptoms that I have mentioned. Then carry on with the tomatoes. Okay, my little chicken has asked, how can I manage my husband's acid reflux with his diet? It occurs daily. He doesn't want to take meds as he has lots of side effects from them. Okay, so first and foremost, I would say chew your food. Make sure you chew. Acid reflux often comes from a low stomach acid. So, I was just thinking about it. So often, people always think it's high stomach acid. It's often low stomach acid, which means that you're not able to, your fire in your belly can't digest the food that you're taking in. So what happens is the food sits, it ferments, and then it causes acid reflux. So make sure you chew your food to help your digestion along. The other thing I was going to say is maybe you have a think about having a capsule of apple cider vinegar before you eat every meal. You can move this up to hydrochloric. You could get your hydrochloric acid tested actually to see what your stomach acids are like. And then so make sure you chew your food. Don't eat too soon, too close to bedtime, so you're not going to bed with a full tummy, though you lie down and then, so you're sitting upright for a good few hours after you've eaten. And then there are other things that you could do. Perhaps look at probiotics. Perhaps, the gut is obviously not quite working as efficiently as it should, so something like a probiotic course. And there are other things such as slippery elm, which are very helpful for this. So it depends where sort of how far along he is, how often he gets it, how bad it is. But I think, the apple cider vinegar is a great place to start on chewing your food and see how you get on with that. And just remembering that